Hi you guys, and welcome into this video. I have been wanting to make this video since probably November. So here we are. We are going to be talking about the nodes of the moon. Now, if you have been on my channel for any length of time, you know I teach a big class about North Node, South Node, your destiny, your spiritual path, your spiritual compass, and all of that. So when things shift, I want to be sure to tell you what's happening around those issues, okay? So right now we're undergoing a shift. North Node and South Node are nodes of the moon. They're mathematical points, okay? And they are representative of energies. They're representative of signs that exist in your birth chart. And so everyone has these signs. Everyone has lunar nodes and everything like that. What I want to try to get across to you today is what's happening with the shift, who's going to be impacted by that most, and how you might, instead of like fearing change or anything like that, my job in 2022 and beyond is about helping you surf this energy, helping you, embrace whatever it is and use it to your best and highest good. Okay, that's what my goal is. So right now I'm talking about the shift in the lunar nodes, the north node of the moon and the south node of the moon from Gemini and Sagittarius into Taurus and Scorpio. Now, some of you know, if you've taken my class, that the lunar nodes are opposite energies, right? They're the opposite signs of each other, and they always move in retrograde form. Okay, they always move backwards. And right now, or where we have been for a couple of years, is the North Node has been in Gemini. Okay, Gemini is about communication. Gemini is about how you present yourself. It's about details of life. It's about learning new stuff, like on a very mundane kind of level, not like big philosophy or anything like that. It's more about like nuts and bolts. Okay, so Gemini is that energy. Gemini is also the energy of being adaptable and articulate and clever and all of these wonderful things. It's a lot of Mercury energy, right? It's that ability to communicate. The South Node has been in Sagittarius all this time. And so when we get, and Sagittarius energy is about adventure and making big, bold change and doing things that are, a little impulsive. Okay, I'm going to say that as a sun sign Sag, but Sagittarius can be about being freewheeling, being an explorer and things like that. So what you need to know about the North and the South nodes are that the North Node is a new lesson for you. So if you look at your own North Node placement, forget about the Taurus and Scorpio thing for a second, but think about your own nodal placement. Where's my North Node? What sign is it in? And what house is it in? You will understand what your mission is in this life. And it may be just generating this energy. It may be a job, a job, or a career, but it doesn't have to be. It can be the energy through which you advance spiritually in this life. Okay. It doesn't have to be around a job, but you can look at it like that. The way to look at it, I think, is look at what house it's in. Look at what house your North Node is in. So I'll use myself as an example, which I do frequently. My North Node is in Gemini. So I just underwent that 2 years of life-changing experience in the particular ways of being pushed to learn new things, being a better communicator, being able to, instead of just extemporaneously do things like just talk, which I do all the time. It's more now about digging deeper into the learning, into the energy of new things to bring to you. Okay. The South Node was in Sagittarius. And that's in my second house. The North Node is in the 8th house. So if you combine the North Node energy of Gemini, which is in my 8th house with that lunar node, 8th house is about what? Transformation and change. So a lot of things that I have learned over the past couple of years have changed my life. Embracing change, being able to communicate change to others, help others transform. So my job on this planet, Gemini and North Node, is communicating about change, transformation. Eighth house is also the house of tarot. It's the house of the occult sciences. It's the house of anything that is mystical and maybe outside, away from polite society, like stuff we don't like to talk about. So my job has been really about getting in there into the mystical realms, channeling, working with my tarot, all of these things to bring about transformation or help you understand transformation. Also, personally, it's transforming my life to talk through the language of tarot. And you know how I figured that out? Because I understood what my North Node placement was. All right, so pay attention to the house it's in. That tells you what area of life it's going to impact. Okay, and then the South Node, the North Node house is about what area of life it's going to impact. And the sign is the energy of that. So what I just described to you is the combination of that eighth house of transformation and the Gemini energy of communication. And you bring those two things together, and that is power. That is opening up to your destiny. It is being open to new opportunities. So when I'm talking through tarot, when I'm speaking through this energy of North Node, I'm bringing about new opportunities for myself that really will change and transform my life. Also, a lot of the change and transformation in the eighth house is behind the scenes. So it can be that you feel changed and transformed, whether, and other people will see that, but it has to be inside first. Okay? South Node is where people are most comfortable. South Node is your past life. South Node is the things you bring to the table that are just natural for you. And so when things get challenging, when people feel challenged, a lot of times they sit back in that North Node. Okay? And my South Node is in Sagittarius, right? I'm a sun sign Sagittarius. Sagittarius, my South Node. So me being impulsive and adventurous and traveling, all these kinds of things are very normal for me. But I needed to go toward that Gemini energy of focused action, communication, learning about systems, learning new ways of being able to bring my gifts to the world. And not so much being like freewheeling, like whatever, right? Like creating more structure in my life, creating things, communication structures that will help me transform and help you transform. So that's how I looked at my North Node and South Node, especially since we just went through the Gemini Sag transition. Okay, we just went through that transiting time when the Gemini was the North Node and Sagittarius was the South Node. So I had a huge transformational experience in these past couple of years. What we're moving into middle of January 19th or so, is when the North Node officially moves into Taurus. Now, I just said to you that the North Node moves in retrograde. So we go from Gemini back into Taurus. Everybody has it retrograde. Everybody. Okay? It doesn't ever move direct, because this is about sparking change. It's also about sparking your destiny. So when you align yourself with the nodal energies, regardless of whether it's actually your North Node and South Node, right? You look at your own chart and you're like, my North Node is in Aries and my South Node's in Libra. Well, that's your personal transformation. But this energy is for all of us. So the people who will be most impacted by this energy are the ones that do have North Node in Taurus, South Node in Scorpio. Okay, they always are partners, right? They always are partners. Gemini, Sag, Scorpio, and Taurus, always partners. And the Aries, Libra, right? So they're always partners, especially in this case. So when you're looking at that, when you're looking at this energy about how it might impact you, the ones that are most impacted by it are the ones that have Taurus in the North Node or South Node, the ones that have Scorpio in the North or South Node, right? You could be reversed. You could have it reversed from what the energy is. And that means an internal transformation as opposed to an external transformation, right? And if you have a North Node in the second house, or North Node in the eighth house, or South Node in the second house, or South Node in the eighth house. So I'm still in play here because my North Node, even though it's in Gemini in my birth chart, is in the eighth house. And Scorpio is the natural ruler. The universal ruler is Scorpio. And so Scorpio owns that 8th house. Even if you don't have Scorpio in the 8th house, you still have Scorpio energy to that house. And same thing goes for the 2nd house. It has Taurus energy. So the people who are most impacted, like I just said, Taurus and Scorpio, North and South nodes, 2nd and 8th house placement. Those are the people who will feel the biggest impact. Okay? All right, so let me give you some dates so you can kind of pinpoint this. If you know you have Scorpio and Taurus, if you have 2nd and 8th house, whatever, if you have those energies, I'm going to give you some dates to consider here. We had the eclipse. This happens whenever we have the eclipse. Just understand that it's on these nodal axis, okay? The nodal axis it was Gemini Sag for 2 years. It takes about 18 months to 2 years to go through the axis of 2 signs. And now the eclipse of the end of last year, we finally had a Taurus Scorpio eclipse, a Taurus Scorpio axis eclipse at the end of November, middle of November last year. The node is finally making its move from Gemini back into Taurus, right? Everything goes retrograde, so it goes back into Taurus in the middle of January. The first eclipse, which is the activation, more of an activation feel, is going to be April 30th and May 15th. That's when our first set of eclipses are happening. And then the second set of eclipses, we always have 2 every year, October 25th and November 8th. So those are the biggest this year. It's going to stay in these signs for a couple of years. But this year, those are the dates that you might want to mark down. If you have this placement, you might want to mark this down and be like, okay, this is what's going on for me around these dates. All right. April 30th and May 15th, solar and lunar eclipses, first set. And then the second set of solar and lunar eclipses is October 25th and November 8th. This is Western astrology. This is, it might be a little bit off not a couple of days, but like a couple of hours, one side or the other, depending on where you are in the globe. All right. So if one of these 2 signs is prominent in your chart, that will also sort of trigger some powerful energy for you. So if you're a sun sign in Taurus, sun, moon, rising, or Venus, if you have in Taurus or in Scorpio, you're likely to be impacted by this also in a strong way. You're a little bit pushed to surrender control. A little bit, because North Node is what is showing you what you're here to do on this planet. It's the new language you're learning. It's the thing that is foreign to you. So there's plenty of twin flames that I've seen charts of twin flames where they have opposite nodal placements. And that can be that, the lesson you're here to learn, my twin flame, I got it, right? It's my South Node. It's natural to me. I know how to do it. I can help you with it, and vice versa. You have the energy in your South Node that I need to learn. So that's why not every single set of twin flames, but a lot of sets of twin flames have this connection or have this placement because they are here to teach each other, right? The more conscious you are of this energy, the more you can use it, surf with it, handle it, deal with it, know about it, okay? Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power in every way, but especially in this way, because a lot of times when we're pushed into our destiny, we rebel, we resist, we want to stay in that South Node, we want to move back into that energy, and it's really asking you to surrender control to something new. Okay, so a couple of things here, what this might look like to people. We might feel, I have my notes here, so we might feel inspired to make changes around the Taurus energy. So Taurus energy is about love and beauty and comfort and enjoyment and money, okay? And Taurus is ruled by Venus. So Venus is about what we value. So you might have a shift in what you value. You might be feeling, especially if you have these prominent placements, or if you do have North Node in Taurus, you could be saying, you know what? That doesn't make sense to me anymore. I'm moving over here, right? And it's supported by that. So a lot of times, that can be present. if you have Scorpio energy, if you have this Taurus Scorpio energy or a prominent Scorpio in your chart, doesn't have to be in the North Node, but if you have Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus there too, you might be feeling that you might need to change your values as it relates to sex and passion and your psyche and transformation and death and taxes and hidden knowledge, occult. A lot of people with this Taurus and Scorpio energy may come into this either being like super duper woo-woo people and changing into much more earthy, less up here, less, this kind of thing where we're talking about, when we're talking about mystical things, or we're utilizing tarot or runes or astrology. Like if you've been that kind of person, you might shift away from that a little bit if that's something that is no longer serving you, right? Eclipses come in and sweep out the stuff that no longer serves us. So there's a change here in what you value. You might be someone who's a hard charging tax accountant, someone who's very into money and really interested in money and how it works. And you might move away from that completely and be someone who's much more not really thinking about that, not really paying attention to that. All right. It might not be a thing anymore for you. You might not care about it anymore. So these things can look like that. It can make a shift in your life like that. So the other thing I want to say to you is the last time that we had the North Node and South Node in this position, Taurus and Scorpio, was in 2004. So at that point, it takes about 2 years to go through each sign, each set of signs, right? And so take a look at what was going on for you back in 2004. It was 18 years ago. So this is like, we're back to where we were in 2004, but you've carried wisdom with you. You've, built something, you have new experiences, new relationships. 18 years later, you're a whole different person, even cellularly, you're an entire different person. So look back at 2004 and what were the challenges you were facing? That would be a good thing to look at. What was on the table for you? And then, take a look at what house in your chart is ruled by Taurus and Scorpio. So you want to take a look at that. And if your Taurus is let's see, if your Taurus is in the 6th house, let's say, that's about your day job. Okay. So with the South Node being in Taurus, or North Node being in Taurus, you may have an experience of wanting to change the kind of work you do. You may not value it anymore. It may not resonate with you anymore. If you have Scorpio in your 1st house, Scorpio in your 1st house is like the deep energy of feeling and being a detective and seeing things, the dark side, the dark underbelly of things, being competitive or courageous or something like that. If you have Scorpio in that 1st house, you may completely change how other people are experiencing you. You may transform that energy of being very private or being very behind the scenes to being more extroverted, to being more whatever it is that you're looking at with that Scorpio energy. It can feel like you're rethinking passion, you're rethinking sex, you're rethinking how you experience these things and how you want to experience them. Don't think that just something is in astrology. It's like, well, that's a done deal. Like, I'm just going to be completely rolled over by a bulldozer and that's the end of that. You have free will. You also, if you know what's going on, you can use this energy to your best end and really align yourself with your mission and purpose in this life and be like, yes, this energy can help me do X, Y, and Z. This energy, North Node and South Node, is kind of like a leveling up. Okay, so don't think of it as being knocked down, especially when you are open and awake and looking at these energies. Think of it as a leveling up. So your computer is getting a reboot, a new operating system, a new way of doing things. And so it might take you a little while to work with these tools or to look at this placement in your chart and figure out where things are and experience, oh, okay, I see I have my, my Taurus is in the house of relationships. I may change how I value relationships or how I put time and effort into them. Taurus is also about comfort, and it's about creating stability. So there may be a drive to, if it's in your seventh house, to create some stability in your relationship status. You're in one-to-one relationship with a love partner, a life partner, business partner. It's a one-to-one thing in that seventh house. So that might change things for you. You might feel that I need some stability. I need that. And is this relationship in alignment with that or not? Out it goes if it's not in alignment with that. Okay. So that's kind of an interesting thing. And how you might also want to look at this, I think this is interesting. We are really being pushed to be our true authentic self. I do believe that's what Taurus and Scorpio is about. Scorpio is about the thing you don't show to other people, right? It's the behind the scenes stuff. And Taurus is about what you value. So if we're being pushed to elevate our via our destiny, if we're being pushed to be our true authentic selves, then it's about showing, right? It's about opening up. It's about seeing our insecurities as opportunities for growth. That's kind of amazing. Now, how you might, I'm gonna leave you with this last thought as a way you can work with this energy. If this is your placement, if you do have North Node in Taurus, South Node in Scorpio, if you have second house, eighth house, that's the most powerful placement. Other stuff, like if you have Scorpio Sun, you're going to be impacted. Taurus Moon, you'll be impacted, but not as strongly as if you have your North Node and South Node in these signs. So what you want to think about is usually any problem that's going on in your life at that moment in time when these are activated is usually around holding on to the South Node. That's where we get tower moments. My famous tower moments, we talk about them on the Tarot channel all the time. So if you're holding on to your South Node, meaning holding on to your past life, holding on to what's comfortable and what's usual for you, what's normal for you, the South Node is here to say, hey, no, the solution is over there in the North Node. So my South Node is in the second house. And so whenever there's a problem with money, or there's a problem with what I value, the answer is over there in the eighth house. Now, you look at yours. If you're holding on to that South Node, when you have the South Node sweeping across it, when it's transiting your South Node, it's activating those problems. It's activating it. So that's why it's more powerful from the people who actually have North and South Nodes, Taurus and Scorpio, and eighth house, second house. That's why it's more powerful, because it's actively moving over their nodes, right? It's activating them. So if you do have that placement, the answer is always in the North Node. Just remember that. The answer is always in the North Node. And if you have this activation going on right now with this placement, what we value may be changing, trying to make security. There might be a lot of upheaval, and it's time to really create something stable for ourselves. Okay? So I just wanted to leave you with this little video and try my last thing to you, Maisie, keep it at the table. My last thing to you is that you are being pushed to be your true authentic self. And when you hang on to that South Node energy, you can have a series of tower moments. So you always want to be thinking about, what does my North Node say? Where is my North Node? Where is it? And in my birth chart, but then also, what is the transit? Is there a transit coming across it and activating it? Okay. All right. So there you go. Maisie notwithstanding, hitting the table. Anyway, much love. If you like this kind of video, please like, subscribe, and share it to this channel. Also, if you have a comment about what I've said, or if you have additional information, because these topics sometimes bring up a lot of additional thoughts, questions, whatever, please put a comment in the comments. And also, I teach a North Node class if you really want to understand your particular North Node. Okay, there's a link below. I'll drop a link below in the description box for that. All right, my darlings, that's my North Node and South Node analysis of Taurus and Scorpio. Much love to you. Thanks for watching.